Hi guys, it's Nancy and we are going to make a quick card using the brand new release from Gina K Designs. This is part of the February 2024 release, and this is the Lovely Lace design. And it has these two beautiful floral images, but I like the sentiments. Very simple font. Happy Easter, thinking of you on your wedding day, birthday blessings, happy Mother's Day. And I love these kind of lacy designs. And we're going to be stamping and heat embossing on vellum. Okay, so I have a couple of things. I have a piece of vellum for my stash. I have a piece, this is cut down to 5.5 by 4 1/4. I have a piece of Gina K white layering weight cardstock, also cut down to 5.5 by 4 1/4, which we're going to layer that on top of. I have a piece of Stick It. This piece of Stick It is slightly smaller, but that's what I'm going to use to adhere my vellum. It's just slightly smaller because it was in my stash and I didn't want to cut a new piece, but you can see it's just slightly smaller. I think we'll be okay and we'll be able to get away with hiding that vellum adhesive behind there. But that's what I use to stick my vellum to my cardstock. And we're going to be using Gina K Fine Detail White Embossing Powder, as well as Gina K Embossing Ink. I have anti-static powder, and let's get into it. So I'm going to use my Misty, my mini Misty, and I'm going to be stamping on my vellum. Use my anti-static tool here. Any anti-static powder you have will work. And I'm just basically, this is going to be simple. We're just going to do floral image and a sentiment. I'm going to use the larger floral image here. I'm not overly going to complicate this. I just want the image to be the focal point and then a simple sentiment. And I think I'm going to make this one a Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, nice and simple. Just like that. Do it all at one time. I think that looks pretty straight. That looks a little off. There we go. That looks a little better. I'm going to use our embossing pad and ink that up. And embossing ink is just a nice, juicy ink pad. It's very sticky to get that powder to stick. And we want the fine detail powder because of how much, you know, this has a lot of fine detail lines on this stamp. And vellum is a very kind of slick surface. Vellum is almost like a, it's just a very slick, surface. So we want to use something stable that we can stamp on, look at it, make sure that it's stamped evenly. And if we have to go back and stamp again, that's where the Misty comes in handy, that we can kind of look at it through the light. I don't think I have full coverage there, so I'm going to ink it up again. Stamp it one more time. And it's hard to see because it's a clear sticky ink and I'm stamping it on a clear synthetic paper. So it's a little tough to tell, but I'll do it one more time. I'm going to grab my little Chucky tool. Okay. Oh yeah, I definitely can tell I got some missed spots there. Oh yeah, definitely better coverage that time around. I think we're good now. Yes. Okay, now we're gonna put that aside. And we're gonna put our embossing powder on. See that embossing powder sticks, and because we used our anti-static tool, it flakes off anywhere it's not supposed to be. So that's going to be super pretty. And I'm just going to take a soft brush and kind of flick it off anywhere I see any excess. Now the secret here is we want to let our heat tool heat up a second. So I'm going to set that on my lap. And I want to kind of heat fairly quickly and move because vellum will warp quickly. You need to be very patient and just kind of keep your distance. Try to keep your heat gun moving evenly over because you can burn this very easily. You can burn your paper and you can burn your powder. So you'll notice I'm heating from the bottom, I'm heating from the top. You need to be very patient. And you'll start to see, once it starts to melt, it'll melt very quickly. But you need to be very patient and moving this, and as tempted as you are to put it in one spot and start melting it, you want to not do that because it will burn. In fact, I should probably move this to the lower heat setting. And I can start to see the powder is melting, and it's going from a dull white to a bright white, and it will start to get glossy and shiny. And when it starts to do that, it'll very quickly turn. Again, just very, very patient. I don't want to burn my paper. I don't want to burn my embossing powder. I just need to turn another light on here so I can see a little better. Here we go. And there it goes. You can immediately see that it goes from dull white to bright white, and almost instantaneously, once it's like a spark. Once it starts, the rest of it goes along with it. Very quickly. Again, kind of keep your distance. You don't want to burn it. Like magic. You don't want to overdo it, because you can burn the embossing powder off if you overdo it. And just give that a second to cool as well, but it should be pretty smooth. I do see a spot over there that was missed. And when it's super smooth is when you know it's done. It won't have a matte look. It'll have a super smooth, glossy look with this embossing powder, and then you know it's done. Okay, and that's really how simple it is. It shouldn't have any bumps or lumps in it. It should be very smooth. And we're just going to give that a second to cool down. And you can see how nice and flat my vellum is. I didn't burn it. I didn't warp it. Make sure that's nice and cool. It doesn't take long for that to cool. And then I'm going to take the release paper off my stick-it very carefully. It does not matter which side of the release paper you take off. I know I had a small edge here. And see, that's pretty seamless. Nice transition there. And then I'm going to put that on my Gina K layering weight. And look at how elegant that looks. The white on white. Now, of course, you could put colored cardstock behind there, but I really wanted to stick to that kind of lace theme and leave it white on white. Now, I have a little adhesive poking out here. I'm going to cut that off. And I'm going to remove that other backing. And use that to stick it to my card. You can use a burnishing tool to make sure you don't have any air bubbles. Camera. There we go. Okay. But I cut these purposely the same size so that it would be pretty seamless. There we go. Okay. So now that is our card front. Now I brought in some Gina K sequins. I have the disco ball sequins, and these are the micro disco ball sequins. I thought those would be pretty to add to the centers, and I'm just going to add some Gina K Connect glue to that. think we'll need the micros. There's enough different sizes here. And then we will just add this to a card front. Now you could cut this down and put a colored mat behind there, but I think it looks really pretty just doing the white on white. I'm going to use my Gina K Dot Runner adhesive here. Just very elegant, classic, very easy to do, but having that white detail embossing powder on white vellum just really makes that lace kind of look pop. And there you go. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Again, this is using the brand new release from Gina K Designs. This is called Lovely Lace Stamp Set. And again, we use the Gina K white, fine white detail. Make sure it is the fine white detail embossing powder with the Gina K embossing watermark ink. We used Gina K layering white cardstock and then topped it off with some of the Gina K disco ball sequins if you don't have that. Using Gina K Thermoweb dot adhesive, connect glue, and of course if you don't have one of these Gina K pokey tools, they come in handy with those sequins as well. All right, so we're just going to let everything glue, and then we have a very easy, elegant Happy Mother's Day card. If you had fun watching me make this card, please give me a thumbs up, and I would love if you would click the little bell and button notification to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're interested in any of these products, I will have them down in the description for you. It is an affiliate link. I would love for you guys to support my channel. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.